Hello, welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more content. Click the bell for the latest videos. Please and thank you. Let's read the comments.
As an adult, what problems have you faced that you never thought existed while you were a teen? Being constantly bored. At least with school I had something to do even if I hated it, and there always were interesting things happening around. But now with work is just so boring to do the same stuff over and over again every day. I feels this so hard right now. I'm trying to look for life things like a cooking class or acting class or finding new hike spots. Although sometimes it would be nice to share this with someone else, but where do adults make friends? Yeah, no? Where do adults make friends? Yeah, no. The short answer is they don't. There's no good societal system in place for making consistent friends in adulthood. In childhood it's called the school system. Back in the day the system for adults was just hanging out with people in your town and family because everyone socialized every day and there were no cell phones, etc. But that doesn't exist anymore. When I got laid off after years with the same company, I thought that was bad. Then when my father died unexpectedly, I thought that was really bad. Then when my wife got a terminal neurodegenerative disease, I thought that was bad. What's next? A global pandemic? No one tell him. Sorry to hear all that. I hope you're coping okay with it. Finding a decent paying job. Though if I went to college, then I would be able to get a job that pays me enough to live comfortably. Turns out, college just means debt and getting two jobs that don't care about your degree at all. Realizing that as you get older, that family and friends are mortal and things are a lot more short-lived. Adding to this, friendships and relationships, too, start getting short-lived. Not because of the people dying, but because of them living. How do you mean on the last part? Living. Living as in they get their own lives. Children, spouses, sick parents and jobs. Bills to pay and groceries to do. Laundry, cooking and cleaning. Not enough time. Between sleep, job and kids there really isn't time for much extra. How your body begins to fail you in various ways. I always thought people that suffered heartburn, indigestion etc. were just unfortunate enough to be born that way. I used to be an all-consuming vortex of gluttony. Now if I take just one, bite of the wrong thing, I'm running for the bottle of Tums, and heaven have mercy on me if they are out. As a child I thought that the old people exaggerated so much when they stood up or sat down, or that funny bent forward walk that they sometimes did while holding their back. Well, I understand now and wish I didn't. I never thought it would happen to me. I'm fairly fit and athletic, but it's happening regardless. None of the adults ever talked about the slow creeping horror of having your body start to fail you more and more as the years roll by, and not a damn thing you can do to stop it. Slow it, yes, but aging comes for us all. I can only hope that I deal with it with the same amount of grace that my parents have done. Even if I do make those funny grumbling noises whenever I have, so stand up now. Oh man, I hear ya. I used to think older folks complaining about back pain were just pansies. Then I got my own bulging disc that seemed to come one day out of nowhere. And even though my case was a minor one, it still hurt so much that I had to lay down several times a day, making me even less productive during a time in my life when I have more responsibilities. It's like I was laughing at older folks when I was young, and now that I'm older life has laughed right back in my face. Real genuine heartbreak. You think you know pain as a teen, but you realize how menial it was when you get older. This is so true. And you can't even go full emo when you have responsibilities. I feel the complete opposite. Yeah, I knew pain as a kid and there was nothing to be done about it then because I had no power. I just suffered. Adulthood is much easier. The speed at which debts increase. Seen small debts rack up insane amounts of interest in the blink of an eye with leeches. Debt collectors, adding insult to injury by sending you letters at ridiculous rates apiece, and if you wait or are unable to pay within the term they set, they'll rob you at court. And if you're under the impression those people have any kind of remorse, think again. Finding an entry-level job in my field that doesn't also require 2 years of similar work experience. Finding a significant other. Women fart, girls don't, and it stinks too. This sounds like a troll post, but it's true. You can 69 in high school and not even smell ass. I never thought I would have to deal with being gay. When I was a teenager I thought I would grow out of it, get married, live happy life. I never thought I would have to deal with this. I thought other people would have this problem. I thought I was normal. That's what's when you're told it's a choice. You're alright how you are. Don't change and deny your love to someone and be who's going to love you back. I thought it was a choice for a long time. I had the conversion therapy. It's based on how you said this, I'm assuming you're from a culture that isn't tolerant of gay people? I'm very sorry to hear that you're struggling with accepting yourself. Just wanted to say you are normal. Love is love and you should never feel ashamed over it. No, we are not. There's no gays in my culture. Thank you for saying that. I just don't know love, only hate. Making friends and keeping them. It's so much harder when you're older, and if both people don't put in the same effort, it doesn't work out. Shit. I don't have any underwear. I forgot to do the laundry. How difficult it could be to find a job even if you've gone to school and did everything right. To be fair, that didn't really exist in previous generations who got older. That's a new thing. Back when I went to school, you could get a job okay even if you just had a high school degree, and if you had a college degree, a job was guaranteed. I went to a state school and my entire tuition for all 4 years, including full room and board, was less than $10,000, and I was able to pay it all off myself less than 5 years later despite not having a great job. Nowadays, forget it. You could pay $100,000 on tuition and all you might end up with is a job that barely pays over minimum wage if you're lucky. Unless you're going to be an engineer or surgeon, I don't think it's worth going to college these days. Being able to move out. Guess what? LOL. I'm 24 years old now and still live with my parents. I'm virtually unemployable thanks to a disability that I wasn't even aware that I had until I was in high school. Having to get genetically tested to see if I've got a higher chance of ovarian cancer because my identical twin ended up with it randomly. I just assumed there was always money, and it just existed and was there when you needed it, and sometimes when you didn't, with zero to no effort. Honestly thought I would be dealing with more adults once I grew up. Gradually aggravating health problems, both physical and mental. As a teen I thought, can't get worse than this, right? And then as an adult you can't sleep on any mattress that isn't your own without waking up with a broken back and bags under your eyes that look like slugs. How easily minor dental problems can grow into big and expensive ones. A few years ago I bit a little too hard into a Tic Tac. I felt something weird, but when I looked in the mirror I didn't see anything different, and going to the local dentist for a regular appointment was $150 in my city, which at the time was difficult for me to spare. So I decided what I felt was just my imagination and I ignored it. Long story short, if I had just bit the bullet and paid that $150 right away instead of waiting several months, it would have saved me $10,000 in dental damages. I'm from the UK, where dentistry can be paid for on our health service at a much reduced rate than if you go private. I would be interested to know what kind of dental work costs you $10,000. Affording groceries. Even when my family was really struggling financially, I always had enough for groceries. I just kind of assumed that as long as I was getting paid, I would afford groceries. And thankfully that is the case. But I do have to do some serious budgeting and I can't buy everything I want. I was thinking of the exact same thing. It's not fun to have to keep money tight and not do at least something nice once a week. Things are getting worse these days. We have demand but low supply. And aftermath of this month might be worse than we thought. Same. My kids have food allergies and are both at the picky toddler stage, where we eat $30 in berries in 2 days, only later to act like berries are literal poison. So their options are expensive and fleeting. As far as they know, the kitchen never closes and there is always an abundance of nutritious, tasty food. They are allowed seconds and thirds of meals. Always. If they are hungry, they eat. Mommy always had a big lunch while they napped. Hopefully it improves, but if not, my kids won't go hungry. I did not expect to get cheated on as many times as I have. I know it doesn't mean much, but I'm sorry you had to go through that. Thanks, pal. Heartburn, bloating and indigestion. I could eat whatever I wanted as a teen and it never bothered me. I ate a cheesesteak yesterday at 11:30 am and it haunted me until about 8 p.m. Trying to choose between sleep and sex, and then hitting the age when you don't have to debate. It's just sleep. Duh. Teens to first kid equals sex, second kid or mid-30s equals debate, fourth kid or 40s equals sleep. 40s confirmed. Right there with yeah. Just got my what I wanna do tonight. Text. TV. Dinner. Sleep. Like every other night. Kids aren't home though, so maybe I'll play some PS4 too. Always a good option when you're being left alone. I noticed as I got to my late 30s I couldn't game and talk, have non-game music going, eat, be highly drunk and game. It's gotta be clear head and no distractions, unless the wife is calling me when there's no kid home. Just how much poo-poo is involved in everyday sexual intercourse?
What do you think? Drop your comments down below. Till then, keep on raiding on.